Yeah.
The founder of Praulia, Jen Voecks. Is that right? All right.
Hi, Jen. That's the clicker. Good?
I'm good.
All right.
Oh, actually. Oh, this is,
There you go.
oh, I guess my image is gone. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Hi, my name is Jen, and I'm the founder and CEO of Praulia. I want to start by telling you a story about a bride who spent months planning the perfect wedding. Just a month ago, she had everything done, so she sat back and relaxed. Until 3 weeks before her wedding, when she found out her florist shop was closing. And that was just the beginning. Her videographers quit without explanation, and her caterer tripled their prices. She was a mess. And that bride was me. After the wedding, I thought to myself, why was it so difficult to find reliable vendors that met my needs? And I wasn't alone. There are 3 key problems taking place in the wedding planning sphere. 1, there's simply no easy and quick way to find a vendor's style, pricing, and availability. An average bride spends over 500 hours planning her wedding. That's more than 20 full days. 2, only 18% of brides can afford to hire a full-service wedding planner, which means 82% of brides are planning the wedding themselves, the DIY bride. And 3, brides want trustworthy and reliable vendors. Imagine hiring a photographer to capture your wedding day that happens just once. You want to make sure that they're going to show up and do a great job. The solution is Praulia. Praulia is your bride-to-vendor matchmaker. We have come up with a software matching system that generates wedding vendor matches for brides based on style, budget, and availability. The wedding planning sphere is outdated, and consumers are ready for a change. In a wedding world filled with drone videography and virtual honeymoon funds, it's time to provide an affordable, stress-free, and simple wedding planning experience. And that starts with Praulia. The U.S. wedding market is a $57 billion industry, and that's the U.S. alone. Our target client is brides ages 20 to 40 with a budget up to $40,000. With the DIY and budget planning representing our serviceable market at $640 million, we believe Praulia will attain a 10% share of that market when it reaches its full potential. So how does it work? Brides come to our site and sign up for one of 3 memberships, ranging from $40 a month up to $299 for a full-year membership. After they sign up, they can request a match in one of 16 vendor categories. We send them up to 10 matches within 7 days. They can then connect with their vendors and reach out to their Praulia assistant with any questions via email, chat, or phone. Praulia is filling the gap between wedding directories and wedding planners, with sites like The Knot and WeddingWire offering free access to vendor profiles, but no matching, and wedding planners offering full service at top dollar. Praulia is the go-to solution for brides seeking assistance on a budget. We differ from some of our main competitors like Loverly and Wedding.com by maintaining 6 key advantages, giving brides several reasons to choose us over the competition. 1, we are first to market with a scalable matching system and unique business model that makes brides the client. 2, we provide unbiased matching, unlike any of our competitors, which gives brides confidence that they come first. 3, we provide a Praulia assistant, which is a wedding expert to answer any questions. 4, we have affordable membership options. 5, our service is simple and easy to use to provide a stress-free and positive user experience. And 6, we have local market expertise, which gives us an edge and allows us to provide better and more accurate vendor matches. If that hasn't convinced you, then let me tell you about the heart and soul behind Praulia, our team. Hi, my name is Jen Voecks, and I'm the founder and CEO of Praulia. I have a background in wedding planning and nonprofit work in the U.S. and Russian markets. Our CFO is Jeff Weiner, with a background in financial analysis and operations. We also have a strong support system within the startup community and key mentors helping us along the way. Our team is driven, creative, and relentless, and I believe you can see that in our progress. We started Praulia in 2015 and launched our service for brides 2 weeks ago at the Dallas Bridal Show. We now have over 1,000 email subscribers. We're signing up and recruiting new vendors every week, and we were a finalist in a local pitch competition sponsored by Mary Kay and the Dallas Entrepreneur Center. So where are we headed? Our target is to reach $11 million in revenue by year 5. We plan to do this by aggressively expanding to new markets every year. with a scalable business model and low overhead costs, our profit margins will be 60%. Praulia is not just about changing up the wedding scene. It's about a team with a drive and a passion to change a bride's experience. Our mission is to bring the focus of a wedding back to the celebration of marriage by making the planning process fun, simple, and stress-free for both brides and vendors. So join us in changing the wedding world by making Praulia your bride-to-vendor matchmaker.
All right, so you've done this before.
Actually, this is my second time.
Okay, so, all right, so this is why I wanted to ask, right? How?
Practice.
Practice, okay.
Practice.
But what about pitch format? How did you learn, like?
I read online.
Okay, so look,
I'm serious.
this right here is what you all need to do. When you pitch a concept, talk to her and ask her how she did it, okay? Seriously, this lady killed it right here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome presentation, awesome timing. My
you.
question is, imagine that you had used Praulia for the situation you described at the beginning of your presentation.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you have reputations, but if something went wrong, how would Praulia have handled it?
Went wrong with a vendor doing that?
Yeah, like if
Yeah,
they
so we,
canceled or tripled the prices.
Sure. So we have a one warning policy in place. So for starters, we do vet all of our vendors. So our vendors have to meet our standards of quality, customer experience, and service. And so we do that through an application and a phone interview. And so we hope to avoid these situations by doing that. But secondly, we do let our vendors know that they have one warning. So if a bride reports them and they are in violation of our policies, if they are reported again, they will no longer allowed to be a vendor with us. And our service is free for our vendors, and so there is incentive. They're getting qualified leads when we send them their leads.
First off, great presentation.
Thank you,
I
thank
loved it. Second, where were you when I needed you last September?
I know.
When I got married. Third, real quick, can you just walk me through the process real quick? So I was
Absolutely.
a DIY bride.
Yeah.
I come to you. Will you just walk me 30 seconds through the process?
Yes. So you come to our site. Let's say you need just one vendor. You're toward the end of your process. You'll sign up for our month-to-month membership, and then you go to your member dashboard where you're able to request a match. So if you need a photographer, you would select photographer, and you fill out a very specific form that allows us to better match you. So you request that match by submitting the form, and then we send that back to you within 7 days. Now, the 7 days is approximate right now because that allows us to ensure availability. No one on the market can send you availability except for a wedding planner.
One comment, I'm over here, Jen.
Oh, yes.
One comment, one question. So when Jen said that this was her second time, her first time was at the Women's Entrepreneur Summit last Friday in a ballroom full of 150 people at the Fairmont Hotel, and she was just as impressive then. So
Thank you.
glad to see you on a stage again. I may have missed it in the slide, but you said your strategy was to aggressively expand to other markets. I was just curious which markets you were targeting.
Yeah, so we will be looking, right now we're focusing on DFW, but our next markets will be in the range of 5 to 10 million, so large metropolitan areas. So we would be looking at expanding to Chicago and New York City, so larger cities next, and then expand from there. We'll do that by having a core team here in DFW, and that core team will go out to that city and commute there for about 6 months to a year until we get good traction, and then there will be a team of 1 to 3 people in those cities to maintain.
I have the mic right here. I actually got married last March.
Congratulations.
And had a similar, thank you, had a similar situation where a venue or a vendor, something happened. I understand what you said for like keeping your vendors and clients in check to make sure that they keep using your service as a venue for finding clients, like people getting married. But ideally you get married that one time, and while that helps keep your system intact, how does that help me as the newlywed trying to get to the wedding with that vendor showing up?
So you mean, like, what guarantee are we giving you to use our service? Yeah. Well, so when you plan your wedding on your own, you typically aren't asking the right questions, and so we're doing that for you. And we're saying we're doing that hard work of saying, I challenge my vendors, and let me tell you, those questions are not easy. People stumble on them. We do not approve all of our vendors, and so we are experts in what we do. And brides and grooms, this is the first time they've planned a wedding. I've done over 30 weddings, and so we are experts, and that is how we can. We can't guarantee everything. That's the whole thing about weddings, is a contract, and we help you get to do the best you can, but unless you're going to sue during the most happiest time, it's kind of a risky situation. So we're just trying to help with that the best that we can.
Hi, Estelle over here. Hi. You might have answered this a little bit already. Whenever you're putting your information in so that it ends up being a match between you and these vendors, is it more of like a Pinterest thing or like a Match.com?
Yeah, I do like to compare it to like a little bit of a Match.com of the wedding world. Having experience in the wedding industry has allowed us to come up with very stylized questions, and so they're very specific to every single vendor. It's not Pinterest. We're not saying, it's very, very specific
Where
criteria.
it's like general survey of all the stuff.
Yeah, so like let's say you're doing a venue, we're asking you questions of everything from seating to what kind of venue. Is it a barn? Do you want them to provide catering?
Thank you.